Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A lawsuit claims she was starved to death. Stunning claims against a Wayne County group home, saying a person in their care was left to die. Thanks for being with us for the News at 5. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Karen Drew, in for Devin Skillion. Let's walk you through some of the claims in this lawsuit. The $25 million lawsuit claims 71-year-old Bertha Jones was slowly starved to death over 2.5 months. Jones was blind, deaf, and unable to speak.
And attorneys claim she weighed just 75 pounds when she died. Sean Lee is live tonight with what her family is saying about this. And Sean, this is truly a horrifying case.
Think about what we're saying here. Starved to death. That's the official cause of death, according to this $25 million lawsuit. I just came back from this group home where I was able to ask some questions. 71-year-old Bertha Jones died May 2nd of 2022. In this lawsuit, her family reveals her official cause of death, protein-calorie malnutrition. She starved to death. Charlene Jones is Bertha Jones' niece. She blames the group home where Jones lived and needed round-the-clock care. Jones is suing the home and the people charged with caring for Jones for $25 million. Jones says a family member told her to get to the hospital. Her aunt was there and her organs were failing.
And at that time, that's when I found out the condition that she was in. She hadn't eaten, she had lost drastic weight, and her organs were shutting down.
That group home is here on Heft Road in Belleville, called Heft House. Bertha Jones was blind, deaf, unable to communicate, and needed to be fed pureed food. Her family finding that in February of 2022, Jones weighed 126 pounds. Her niece says then she noticed rapid weight loss, and by April, she weighed 75 pounds. Albert Dibb is the family's attorney, who says the home told the hospital Jones was eating on a regular basis.
There was no way she could be eating or could be fine in the condition that she was in. And she finally died of what's called protein-calorie malnutrition, which is death by starvation.
Death by starvation. I went out to that group home, knocked on the door. It is still operating. Person at the door says everyone named in the lawsuit who was working there when Bertha Jones was there has now left that facility. Back to you.
Sean, what do we know about state regulation of this group home? You've been investigating that as well.
That's the first thing we asked the state and Laura about this. What about licensing? They are looking into it. Here's why they may not be finding it right now. The lawsuit alleges that the group home dropped its state license and went to kind of a tenant-landlord situation to be living there and accept care there. And that's how they may have been avoiding, according to the lawsuit, oversight and regulation.
Just a horrific case. Okay, Sean, thank you. Let's turn now to Lansing, where the state Senate is set to vote on repealing Michigan's right-to-work law, and that's not all.
Yeah, this comes after the State House approved the same thing just last week. Mara McDonald live at the Capitol for us in Lansing. Mara, when could we see a vote on this?
Well, Karen, the entire right-to-work issue is rolling in the Michigan Senate as we speak. As a matter of fact, let's dip into some live pictures out of the Michigan Senate right now. What you're looking at right now, or what you will be looking at right now, is Republican senators who are railing against the idea of a right-to-work repeal. Let me set this up for you. Earlier today in the Michigan Senate, the Labor Subcommittee met, passed out a bill repealing right to work, so that means it goes to the full Senate floor. That's where we're at right now. And what this does is this. You will remember back in 2012, the Michigan legislature enacted right to work, which says this: you do not have to belong to a union as a condition of employment, meaning if you work someplace that is a union shop, you are not mandated to belong to that union if you don't want to. Subsequently, we have seen union membership in this state starting to go down year after year after year. Now, the proponents of right to work will tell you that it makes Michigan a far better business climate, that it makes it a haven for job creators. The unions will tell you that it's eroding their ability to collectively bargain, and they say that it takes down wages. I would expect that we are going to have a full vote here on repealing right to work. I would expect that repeal to pass probably in the next half hour or so. We are live in Lansing at the Capitol tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Such a hot topic. We know you'll be keeping a close eye on it. Thank you, Mara.
The finger pointing is underway in Washington after two banks failed this week and after the release of the latest inflation numbers. The good news, prices have come down a bit, but the government's efforts to fight inflation might hit another snag. Chris Ballone is in Washington for us tonight.
With inflation headed in the right direction, it appeared to be a lock that the Federal Reserve would once again raise interest rates at its next meeting. But now, with turmoil in the banking system, all of that has changed. The latest economic indicators show the high prices we've all been paying are coming down slowly. Welcome news for the nation's economic picture, which has gotten more complicated in just the past few days.
The sigh of relief is that inflation did not come in too hot.
Inflation in February was 6% higher than a year ago, down from a peak of more than 9% last June, but still much higher than the government's target of 2%. In a statement, President Biden said February's inflation was the slowest annual increase since September 2021, and the president said he would continue working to lower costs. But that job largely falls on the Federal Reserve, which appeared all but certain to raise interest rates once again next week. That is until two banks failed over the weekend under the pressure of the rapidly rising rates, a stunning collapse that some analysts say should have been anticipated.
The bank examiners should have seen this. This isn't about the framework for regulation. It's about the execution.
Now, sources say both the Justice Department and the Securities and Exchange Commission have opened investigations into what led to the failure of Silicon Valley Bank.
Is there something wrong with the supervision system? Is there something more broadly broken inside the broader banking system that needs to be looked at?
As the fallout spreads, Democrats and Republicans appear eager to pin the crisis on each other.
Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements.
Two big banks yesterday closed. That's a bad sign. That could be the beginning. We have an economy that's in shambles.
The blame game underway as Americans wonder whether their banks are safe and whether prices will ever come back down to normal. Many analysts had expected the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates by as much as 0.5 point next week to speed up its battle against rising prices. But with those two banks failing over the weekend, now some analysts say the Fed may take no action at all this month to shore up confidence in the nation's banking system. In Washington, Chris Ballone, Local 4.
And Chris, a Southfield police officer is being honored for bravery after jumping into action as someone sat trapped in a burning car.
This happened Saturday night along 8 Mile. Pamela Osborne live in the newsroom for us this evening. And Pam, he had some help from Good Samaritans as well.
Yeah, that Officer Patrick McCormick today highlighting the actions of those bystanders who were able to get the driver out of that burning SUV. They then helped him help that passenger. Take a look.
This is Officer Patrick McCormick running, fire extinguisher in hand, to the scene of an awful wreck on 8 Mile near Northland Drive Saturday night. The driver's already out. The red Ford Edge completely engulfed in flames.
There's somebody in the car.
He works to put out the fire, but it continues to grow.
Hey, I need help! Sean!
He shatters the passenger window and finds help from complete strangers.
One particular person who actually went and ran and got a fire extinguisher from a gas station and was assisting me so I could actually get inside that vehicle.
We introduced you to that man who goes by Jackson last night. Now watch as Officer McCormick leans into danger in an attempt to save a life.
He put his own safety at risk to at least give this individual a chance at life.
Southfield Police and Fire honoring Officer McCormick for his bravery and dedication.
This Chief's Award is given for individuals like yourself who have been shown just heroic actions.
He was given the Chief's Award by fire officials and a brand new challenge coin by his department. They're calling him a hero, he says.
That night, I just did what any other officer would have done.
That driver and passenger were both critically injured and taken to two local hospitals. The passenger died from his injuries a day later. And here's what police are saying about that crash itself. They say the driver of that red Ford Edge was speeding through a red light when they crashed into another SUV that had the green light. People from that SUV had to be rescued as well. As for those Good Samaritans who stopped to help, police plan on honoring them at another ceremony at a later date. Kimberly?
All right, I'll take it from you. Thank you, Pam. We appreciate it.
All right, let's turn now to forewarned weather, and it's turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous day all across Metro Detroit. It's helping to melt the snow we got out there. The sunshine is.
Yeah, look at that live shot with the skyline. It's really blue. Now look over there. Ooh. New York City, live pictures from NYC where a nor'easter is dumping rain and snow on the region. It's really causing a mess. Lots of airline cancellations. Now it's all clear now back at home, but still kind of chilly.
It is. Let's get over to Kim Adams. But Kim, you're tracking a warm up on the way, right?
We sure are. Temperatures will be in the 50s by later on in the week. So we've gone from Detroit to New York, and here's a look at Ann Arbor. It's just a really pretty day, but deceivingly cold. It looks like it should be a little warmer outside, but it's chilly. 36 in Detroit, 33 in Ann Arbor, low 30s in Lapeer, mid 30s in Monroe. We've got a pretty decent northwesterly wind, and that's putting our wind chills in the 20s. So our temperatures right now are in the low to mid 30s, but it feels like it's only 23 in Pontiac, 21 in Mount Clemens, 28 at Metro, and 23 is the current wind chill out in Ann Arbor. Tomorrow, winds will calm down a little bit. The sun will come back out again, and it's going to be a beautiful day. And finally, a little closer to where we should be for this time of year in the low 40s. But we do warm up for Thursday, and we bring in a chance for rain as well for St. Patrick's Day. I'll have that forecast coming up, but you can always download the Forewarned Weather app to get interactive radar right in the palm of your hand. Just go to your favorite app store and type in WDIV.